Showtime. Finally time to cover the Meta Bros Mail Day stream. Very excited for this. I like that they send in the little logos. It's very cool. I don't know if they're actually stickers or if they're just like little cutouts or just little logos they package into their stuff. It would be cool if they did have stickers. I definitely would incorporate those into the binders. But in any case, so with today's Mail Day stream, it's a bit different than usual. Not just a long video, but we actually have a ton of stuff, as you can tell. 3 separate Mail Day packages, courtesy of Metabro Jake and Super Meta Sales, along with, thanks to Metabro Jake, 5 tins, or 5 of the, hard to describe. So it's 5 of this year's Mega Tins, but in order to save on mailing and packaging, we just had the packs sent over, as the tins would be too expensive. Plus, we have plenty of tins as is, so this actually just kind of knocks out 2 birds with 1 stone. Saves us some space and some money, so big thanks to Metabro Jake for kind of breaking down the logistics of how this would get sent out, but that'll be towards the end. Very excited about that, but as is tradition, we'll go left to right on our various packages here, kind of go over some of the decks we're covering with these, and give a brief update on some upcoming mail, as well as we do have more mail slowly coming in, so we may actually end up doing like a follow-up Mail Day stream for some of the other TCG player stuff, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. Hey, what's going on, Jason? All right. Without further ado, let's jump in, starting with package number 1. This was from Metabro Jake. This covers some of the support for the Infernoble and Shining Sarcophagus decks. So starting off for what was sent in for the Infernoble deck, 1 copy of Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, and our first ever Diabellstar the Black Witch. Very nice. Very happy to have these. Wanted, super handy card, being able to grab a Diabellstar monster from deck or graveyard to hand, and also being able to banish it to target one of our Sinful Spoils spells and traps that is banished from the grave, and place it on the bottom of the deck to draw a card. So very handy there as well, just being able to recycle some of our spells and traps, and also search out our Diabellstar Black Witch, which we can just special summon from the hand by sending 1 card from hand or field to graveyard. Also, once per turn, lets us, when it's normal or special summon, set a Sinful Spoils spell or trap directly from deck. During the opponent's turn, if it was sent from owner's hand or field to the graveyard, send 1 card from hand or field to grave to then special summon this card. So, very cool boss monster, very nice way to incorporate some of the Sinful Spoils engines. Very much going to be coming in handy for the Infernoble deck, especially with some of the spells and traps that just get out fire monsters. Definitely will come in handy for some of the lower level Infernoble Knife monsters. Now for the Shining Sarcophagus deck, what was sent in was 1 Gandora G, the Dragon of Destruction, 2 copies of Silent Magician 0, 1 copy of Ties That Bind, 1 Silent Swordsman 0, and 1 Gadget Trio. So kind of going over each of these. Gandora G, just special summon itself if we have the Shining Sarcophagus. We get to pay half our life points to destroy as many other cards on the field as possible, and then banish them if we do. Then we get to special summon a level 7 or lower monster that mentions the Shining Sarcophagus from our deck and increase its level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect. What's nice is the Shining Sarcophagus can't be destroyed by monster effects, so it already has built-in protection for this effect, so you can essentially just clear out the entire field, grab a Shining Sarcophagus monster from deck, and keep your own Sarcophagus out on the field. There's a nice little combo if you blow up the Shining Sarcophagus Dark Magician monster, where it'll just come back to the field if destroyed in any capacity, and then fetches a Dark Magician spell or trap. So you're probably grabbing, I believe it's called Secrets of Dark Magic, just so you can fuse the Dark Magician and Gandora G for Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Very nice combo there. Ties That Bind just grabs us 2 monsters from deck with different names from each other that mention the Shining Sarcophagus, as long as we have it and a monster that mentions it on our field. The monsters we summon have to be level 4 or lower. And we get locked out of the extra deck for the rest of the turn after it resolves. So you're basically just grabbing probably Swordsman 0 and Magician 0. Magician 0 just lets us negate spell cards, which is nice. Swordsman negates anything that targets and would be destroying. Is it just target? Yeah, just targets. Doesn't have to be destruction necessarily, but anything that targets a monster that mentions the sarcophagus or the sarcophagus itself. They also get to increase their levels, and they gain 500 attack times the increase in their levels. There's also spell cards that just increase the level for you, so definitely powers them up in any capacity. Magician 0 will increase anytime your opponent draws a card. Swordsman 0 just goes up during the standby phase, or with using any of their cards, or through their own effects. Gadget Trio, this is basically what our normal summon and opener will be dedicated to. If normal or special summon, grabs the Shining Sarcophagus or spell or trap that mentions it from deck to hand. If we're destroyed by battle or card effect, or if it is, we get to set a Stronghold, the Hidden Fortress, from our deck. Very nice. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It just combines all the gadgets, so we don't have 3 gadget monsters that mention the sarcophagus. We just get them all packaged into one nice card. Very handy there. It's also a nice ash bait if you already have Shining Sarcophagus in your opening hand. You can just summon this, activate the search, and then immediately bait out an Ash Blossom through that. Because the Shining Sarcophagus will also search for monsters, so if you already have your resources set up, this is a good ash bait. Package number 2 from Super Meta Sales. This gets us 2 copies of Nemesis Flag. There are a couple decks we're running that need some Nemesis cards, stuff like Metaphyz and also Thunder Dragon. So having a few more copies of Flag is really cool. Plus he has a nice little spear. Very cool. Red Rose Dragon, very nice. I believe this is the one that just got unlimited recently. I think it was Red Rose that was initially limited for quite some time, so good to have it back to 3. EMP Meow Mine, which is just a fantastic card, and a level 2 Cyber, so works with sprites, just works with any sort of Cybers or Link focus strategy, and of course, Performer Pal Skull Crobat Joker, which is probably one of the coolest names for a card ever. That's just me. Going over the Nemesis Flags, as is Nemesis tradition, we get to target one of our banished monsters. Special summon this card from the hand, shuffle that target into the deck. During the main phase, we get to add a Nemesis monster from deck to hand. Very nice. So, pretty easy summoning condition, and also an archetypal searcher. Also helps you grab some of your bigger Nemesis stuff like Protos or Escatos. So that's very nice. Red Rose Dragon, if it's sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, special summon a Rose Dragon from hand or deck, except for Red Rose. Then if it was sent for the Synchro summon of Black Rose Dragon or a Plant Synchro, we get to also add a Frozen Rose or Blooming of the Darkest Rose from deck to hand as well. Very nice. EMP Meow Mine for link monsters on the field or in either graveyard, we get to special summon it from the hand. If a link 2 monster control is sent to the graveyard or banished face up, we get to banish this card from the graveyard to then target a card our opponent controls and then bounce it back to the hand. Very much like a mine, easy field material, and then anytime one of our link 2s or higher gets taken out, we can just banish this to bounce something back to hand. Perform Pal Skull Crobat Joker. While in the Pendulum's scale zone is a scale 8, we can't pendulum summon monsters except for Perform Pals, Magician Pendulums, and Odd Eyes monsters. This effect can't be negated. But mostly what it's been known for is when it's normal summoned, we get to add a Perform Pal, Magician, Pendulum monster, or Odd Eyes monster from deck to hand, except for Skull Crobat. This is just a great way in any Pendulum Magician focus builds. It's just an easy 3 of and a nice normal summon to dedicate to. Woo! And then finally, for the final, courtesy of Meta Bros sales, or Super Meta sales, got a bunch of stuff for, again, more stuff for the Infernoble deck, a bunch of stuff for the binders, but also stuff for the Centurion deck. Very handy. What we got was 2 copies of Emperor Charles the Great, our nice Link 1. 2 more Seeker of Sinful Spoils, so that gets us a full playset. Firewall Dragon Singularity. 2 copies of Centurion Trudea. 1 Despian Lulu Wall Lilith. 2 number 32 Shark Drake. 1 number 39 Utopia Double. 1 number F-Zero Utopic Draco Future. 1 Scapegoat. 1 Red Dragon Archfiend. And 1 Parallel Exceed. So we'll kind of work our way backwards here. Parallel Exceed, anytime a monster is link summoned, we get to special summon this from the zone it points to from our hand. If it's ever special summoned, its level becomes 4, its original attack and defense become halved. But also, if it's normal or special summoned, we get to grab another copy of Parallel Exceed from the deck. This is just a great way to link climb or go into an easy rank 4. As anytime we link summon, as long as that zone's open, Parallel Exceed will go into it, and then immediately grab another copy from deck. Luluwal Lilith requires a level 4 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So any sort of strategy that just has level 4 tuners floating about and a level 8 synchro, this is the perfect way to go into it. Once per turn, if a card leaves the extra deck, make all monsters we currently control gain 500 attack, parentheses permanently, which is cool. Then we can negate the effects of one face-up card on the field until the end turn. During the end phase, if it was sent to the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, we get to special summon a light spellcaster monster from hand or deck whose attack equals its own defense. There are a bunch of these. The main one is probably, I believe it's Ecclesia. It's not Ecclesia the Virtuous, but the one that works with Sword Souls. Can't remember what her name is. I think it's Ecclesia the Virtuous, but I thought that was the Dogmatica one. But you can also grab the Dogmatica Ecclesia or the Sword Soul one. There's also the Golden Sword Soul, which is just a nice little attack interceptor for branded cards, but it's also a nice little tuner for Sword Souls. There's a ton of really good spellcasters that equal their own defense that are light. You can also grab something like Effect Veiler, so you can just climb into something like Selene and then immediately into Access Code, so you can do it that way as well. There's a ton of little strategies. And Meow Mine, that name is fantastic. It really is. That's a good point, Jason. Meow Mine. Hopefully we get more just kind of like cute or funny Cybers cards that just have funny names. I think that's fantastic. Utopia Double. 0 attack but 2500 defense. 2 level 4s as is Utopia tradition. Quick effect, we get to detach material to add a double or nothing from deck to hand. Then special summon from the extra deck a Utopia Xyz monster, except for Utopia Double, by using this card as material. Its attack becomes doubled, but it cannot attack directly. It is treated as an Xyz summon, and we get to transfer the materials to that summoned monster. So ideally, you would summon regular Utopia number 39, double its attack to 5k, attempt to crash into a monster, negate its attack, and then use double or nothing to turn into 10,000, and then proceed to continue crashing into whatever you were about to swing into. So that's a nice little combo there. Red Dragon Archfiend, really nice generic level 8 synchro. Has a nice structure deck built around that. We do have a deck profile that kind of covers that full structure deck, but in any case, it's just a really cool card. After damage calculation, if attack an opponent's defense position monster, good to destroy all their defense position monsters they control, and once per turn during the end phase, we destroy all other monsters we control that did not declare an attack this turn. This card must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. Very nice if you're going up against Super Heavy Samurai, but a lot of the new Red Dragon Archfiend support does also put stuff into face down defense position, or using stuff like Book of Eclipse or Book of Moon to just kind of get monsters face down defense position and then blow them up through Red Dragon Archfiend's effect. So it does require some setup, but there is a lot of in-archetype stuff now that does help you out, so you don't have to invest as much as you used to. Number F0, Utopic Draco Future. Probably one of my favorite Xyz monsters. 3 Xyz with the same rank except numbers monsters. Its rank is always treated as 1. It's also treated as a Utopic Future card, but you can also Xyz summon it by using a number F0 Utopic Future we control as material. We transfer its materials to this card. Can't destroy a battle or card effects. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster effect is activated, quick effect, attach material from this card to negate the activation. And if that monster is on the field, we get to permanently gain control of it. Very nice boss monster. There are a ton of engines and archetypes that can just get out number F0 Utopic Future and therefore by extension Draco Future. Stuff like the Ghost Trick engine using Alucard and 2 Angel of Mischief and a Ghost Trick shot. So you'll basically incorporate your rank 3 engine, climb into those Xyz monsters, use the 2 Angels of Mischief to go into F0 and then into F0 Draco. Or as I like to usually do it, using the Sue Ship deck, basically spam out a bunch of rank 4s and then use 2 of those to go into F0 and F0 Draco. That's the way to go through that. Jason's a big fan of number 32 Shark Drake, so we'll cover this guy next. 3 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, when this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, we get to detach material from it to special summon the destroyed monster to our opponent's field in attack position, loses 1,000 attack, and if we do, this card gets to make a second attack during this battle phase. So it's a nice way to basically just pummel over monsters, bring them back, lower their attack, and then pummel over them again for additional damage. There is some upcoming Shark support in Rage of the Abyss, so having a couple copies of these isn't a bad idea, as I believe their new Xyz monster does actually use number 32 as a nice way to just rank up into it. Kind of like how Utopia the Lightning goes over Utopia, the new Shark Drake monster uses the original Shark Drake as a nice base. Scapegoat, one of my personal favorite quick play spells, and a nice little, back when it was limited, nice one-off for the Cybers deck. Being able to special summon 4 sheep tokens. They're just level 1 Earth Beasts with no attack and defense. They're in defense position. They can't be tributed for a tribute summon. And you cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can normal set. What you would do is set this during the end of your turn. Activate during the end phase of your opponent's. Get your 4 tokens out, and then you can start your link climbing. If you want to go into Access Code Talker, 2 of these tokens go into Security Dragon. The other 2 go into IP Masquerena. Link up into Transcode Talker, revive that IP, and then link up into Access Code Talker. Can't be destroyed by card effects, and then you grab that Transcode Talker to give Access Code plus 3,000. So it's a nice little combo that way, or you can just use the Security Dragon and IP to climb into Access Code. You would only get plus 2,000 in that case, but still, pretty good combo you can use to go into Access Code by just one little scapegoat. Emperor Charles the Great requires a level 9 Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles equipped with an equip card. That's why it's a Link 1 with 3,000 attack. If it's Link summoned, we get to target an Emperor Infernoble Charles in the graveyard, the Synchro one that is. This card's name becomes that target's original name and gains that target's original effects. Then equip that target to this card as an equip spell that gives it 500 attack. Once per turn, when a spell or trap or effect is activated, quick effect, send one equip spell from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So anytime you're just making the base Infernoble Emperor Charles, you can just use one to link up into this guy, grab that Emperor Charles, copy those name and effects, and then also get a nice spell and trap negate. 2 more copies of Wanted Seeker of Spoils, so this gets us the full playset for the Infernoble deck. 2 copies of Firewall Dragon Singularity. As you know on the channel, we're a huge fan of any sort of Firewall Dragon or Cyberse Link monster, so this kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. 3 or more effect monsters. Quick effect, we get to target cards our opponent controls are in their graveyard up to the number of different card types, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, that we control are in our graveyard. Return them to the hand. This card permanently gains 500 attack for each card returned. If a monster's card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, get to target a Cyberse monster in the grave, special summon it. We can only use each effect once per turn. So it kind of combines a bunch of Firewall Dragon base effects, like Firewall Dragon with the quick effect bounce, and also just recovering of materials. This one grabs stuff from the graveyard. While also copying Dark Fluid's ability to just incorporate Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and then boost up our effects from there. So just having a very colorful extra deck, Singularity is really able to pop off. And then finally, 2 copies of Centurion Trudea. It's a level 4 Pyro, so Bonfire is a really nice target for the deck. During the main phase, we get to place this card we control in 1 Centurion monster from hand or deck, except Trudea, into the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. Cannot special summon Trudea for the rest of the turn during the main phase. If it's a continuous trap, we get to special summon it, then increase its level by 4. So it's a nice way to kickstart our Centurion plays. And always Centurion cards love to be continuous traps and special summon themselves, and also change their level. So very easy to go into some of those level 8 or level 12 synchros, such as the Crimson Dragon. That is unfortunately what has gotten Archfiend King Calamity banned, which is the second monster with Calamity with a effect, shutdown effect, the other being True King. So if anyone at Konami's out there, probably don't want to print cards with Calamity in the name with a sort of floodgate or just effect, shutdown effect. That seems to get cards in trouble. Don't take it from me, just take it from the rest of the entirety of the card game. But still, pretty cool card. Said that it had to get banned, but To be fair, being able to quick effect synchro summon a card and then just shut down your opponent, probably not a good idea to make that, or any sort of effect that can facilitate that. Jason says, he actually got a quarter-century scapegoat from the new tin. Very nice. We're actually about to open a bunch of packs here from said new tin. Oh, look. Let them all fall through. Ugh. That's way more packs than I remember, but still, we did order a lot. So big thanks to Metabro Jake for getting this all set up. Woo! Now that we've covered all the mail, it's time to cover the most important part, the Megatin packs. We are working on getting more Megatins, so there will be a Megatin focused break coming up in the near future. For right now, we'll at least just kind of kickstart this courtesy of the Metabros. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. I'm not really sure what the pack trick is for the Megatin, so we'll just use this first one as kind of a template. Figure out where all the hollows are, and then kind of shuffle back for the follow-up packs. Photon Time Stop. Ooh, nice. Intimidating Ore Summonite. Mental Tuner. Realm Resonance. All the Visa Starfrost spells and traps just look so cool. Ooh, Galaxy 100. That's a nice rarity bump. Our first secret is a Manadium Rheum Heart. Our first quarter century is the right leg of the Forbidden One. Very nice. Dynamondo. Chimera the Illusion Beast. Full active Duplex. Nice little one-off for the Cybers deck. The Immortal Bushi mourns the mortal body. All monsters in the grave become warriors, and once per turn during the end phase, blow up all monsters you control. At least you can do that. Very cool. Doomstar Ulka. And Split Mirror of the Underworld. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll take 4 from the back and then send those to the front. Very nice. So we'll keep our... Basically just isolate by rarity. That'll be the way to go. Put those over there. Split Mirror of the Underworld. Very nice spell and trap. Kind of gives me Dream Mirror vibes, but still, just really cool. All right. Pack number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. Jurassic Power. Reinforce. Gaia Blaze, the Force of the Sun. Kind of wish you got a rarity bump, but still, pretty cool card. Behemoth, the King of 100 Battles. Very nice. Infinite Antlion. Man, 100 battles, infinite Antlions. Getting some pretty high numbers here. Cashier Extra. Land Flipping. I kind of wish the picture of the castle was a little bit more cartoonish, but still, that's pretty cool. Amaze Attraction, the Thrill Train. Ooh, Infernoble Knight Turpin. Very good. El Meteoro Shining Neos Wingman. That's our Prismatic Secret. Woo! Another F-Zero Utopic Draco Future. Dynamorphia Intact. And Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Very good. That Intact will be a nice rarity bump. We do have a Dynamorphia deck in the works. It's slowly being built up as we do need to grab a few more Dynamorphia cards, but still, we'll get that going and underway. Pack number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. YuGiOh the Gravity Ninja. Very cool. Somebody recommended throwing that into the Ninja deck, so definitely have to snag him into a spot somewhere. Tellarknight Constellar Caudicus. Hey, that's 2 archetypes in 1. Bunny Ear Enthusiast. Vernisylph and the Flower Buds. Chaos Beast. Super Heavy Samurai Stealthy. Hydralander Orbit. That's a nice one. What was this? Battle of Chaos? I was gonna say, I remember this card. It looked really cool. A Small Scuffle. Just a small one. Emperor Tanuki's Critter Count. I count 2 critters there. Giant Champion Sargus is our Prismatic. The left leg of the Forbidden One. Am I going to get the full Exodia here? That'd be cool. Diablantis, the Menacing Mantis. And Photon Emperor. So getting some nice rarity bumps here. Woo! Pack number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we actually do get the full Exodia, that'd be very entertaining. Rebirth of the 7 Emperors. Branded Befallen. Place them all over here. Super Heavy Samurai Soul Gaia Booster. Another bunny ear enthusiast. Infinite Antlion. Bio Insect Armor. Used to like Insect Armor with a little cannon equipped to it. Always looked really cool. Chaos Phantasm. Amaze Attraction Thrill Train. Ultimate Great Insect. Fire Recovery. Target a fire monster in your graveyard. Send one card from hand to grave to special summon that target a monster. Banish this card from the grave to target 3 of your fire monsters that are banished and or in the grave. Shuffle into the deck. Draw 1. Oh, that's really cool. Green Gadget. Very nice. Probably my favorite out of the original Gadget trio. Pearly Happiness and Scatter Fusion. Very good. Thoughts on the packs being silver? Jason is a big fan of them. I like it. I'm more interested in the content, so any color is fine by me. Unless it's like a very neon green. I feel like that would be a little too bright, but that's just me. I did enjoy the gold, though. That kind of, back when the Megatins were all the sarcophagus and they were all gold, that did have a nice little theming and motif. So it does kind of make sense that this is silver, given that this year's Megatins are also silver. So it does, I do like that when they kind of line up that way. Full active Duplex. The Immortal Bushi mourns the mortal body. New World Stars. Very cool. Doomstar Ulka. How did Dai get here? Well, you're in a Mega Pack, so probably that way. Synchro Overtop. Manadee and Breakheart. Tenchi Kamai. Kind of wish this got a rarity bump. That was always a really cool field spell. That is a Prismatic Secret would be cool. Triangle O. This is a nice 5Ds reference. Crystal Skull, Ashoka Pillar, and then Cabrera Stone. Ooh, Unchained Soul, Lord of Yama. Definitely need this for a couple Fiend decks. Oh, this is nice. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Can barely read it, but still really cool. Golden Cloud Beast Malong. Nice rarity bump there. How am I supposed to pronounce this? Kebasanuif, Protector of Horus. Oh, that actually wasn't so bad. I do need that for a deck running a Horus engine that I'm working on. As I only have Duamutef at this moment in time. I actually thought that would be harder to pronounce. Kebusenif. Blackson is assembling the Forbidden One, says Jason. We're missing 3 parts, but we could. We're getting closer. Brand of Befallen. Jurassic Power. Kashtira Big Bang. That one's really cool. Aqua Chorus Round. Nice retrain of Aqua Chorus. Sorry, the Silverwing Axe. I always thought it was weird that it was a machine, but somebody pointed out that it's the name of the axe, not the person holding it, so that actually makes sense. Photon Time Stop. UFO Light. Nice little illusion card. I definitely wanted to incorporate this at some point into the Chimera Illusion deck, just because it does look really cool. Million Century Ice Prison. Lila Rap. Is that what she does now? Stake Your Soul. Okay, definitely needed this one. I forgot this was in here. Left Leg of Forbidden One. Still collecting our Forbidden One cards, I see. Pearly Plump. And Rescue Ace Monitor. I believe this is the one that grabs our Rescue Ace traps. Yeah. Very good. Kind of sad he doesn't get much usage in the deck, as Turbulence kind of just does it for you. But still, Monitor is very cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Continuing Epic of Charles. I do like this. I like the little plushies of the Infernoble Knights all over the desk. That's very cool. And he's actually designing Emperor Charles himself. Over Exaggeration. Guy Blaze, the Force of the Sun. Brightest Blazing Branded King. This is one of my favorite traps. I wish... Does this one have a higher rarity? I would hope so, just because of how cool it looks. Digijamming. That's what I say when I bump my hand or foot into a table. Click and Echo. Didn't know they had names. Small Scuffle. Remember, it's just a small one. No big deal. Synchro World. Angelica's Angelic Ring. Very fancy. Definitely like this one. Gravekeeper's Inscription. Wait. Is this an actual... At the start of the main phase 1, apply one of the following effects until the end of your opponent's turn. Neither player can activate card effects in the graveyard. Neither player can banish cards from the graveyard. And neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard. So it is a Gravekeeper spell, but it's pretty generic, actually. Very cool. Whoa, Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend. Very nice level 10 synchro. This thing just looks so awesome. This is absolutely fantastic as a quarter century. Asset Mountis. It's not a Mantis, it's a Mountis. If opponent controls a level 6 or lower monster, special summon this card from hand. If you have more cards in your hand than their opponent, you can change the battle position of all monsters on the field. All other insect monsters on the field become the same attribute and level as this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except insect monsters. This card is destroyed at a level 8 or higher insect monster from deck to hand. Wow, that is a lot of assets. And another monitor. Very good. Looks like a worm card. It kind of does. It does have that kind of worm shape and design, but I guess it would work with aliens because it's also a UFO, but I understand worms are also kind of an otherworldly invader, so technically both of those are correct, Jason. That's a very good point. Reinforce. Mikanko Dance Mayo Washidori. Was able to pronounce that one. Etude of the Brande. Cashier Overlap. Intimidating or Summonite. I wish this got a rarity bump. I just like the little face he's got. Majora's Mask kind of looking moon. Infinite Antlion. Supreme King Dragon Lightworm. Actually need an extra copy of this, so that's very handy. Xyz Entrust. Gishki Grimness. Hey, Tearlament's Kashtira. Need another one of this. The Seal of Orichalcos. All monsters you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. While you control 2 or more face attack position monsters, your opponent cannot target your monsters with the lowest attack for an attack. If this card is activated, destroy all special summon monsters you control. We get locked out of the extra deck. We can only activate the seal once per duel. The original copy had the ability to steal your opponent's soul, but this is fine. This is still acceptable. Earthbound Servant, Geo Kraken, and Kitty Tail, the mythical beast of the forest. This is neither a Vernasylph nor a Melfi, but it may as well be both. So it is adorable. I don't know if I need another Geo Kraken, but we'll take it. At the very least, it's a rarity bump, so can't go wrong there. I forget what pack we're on. I'll probably just go off of how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is pack number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Full active Duplex. The Immortal Bushi. Doomstar Ulka. Split Mirror of the Underworld. Photon Time Stop. Intimidating or Summonite. The Mental Tuner. Realm Resonance. Merry Melfies. On the topic of actual Melfies. Snake Eye Oak. Very cool. This looks really nice as a prismatic secret. Another Scapegoat. Hey, just like Jason. Full Armor Xyz. Very much coming in handy with that. E-Pearly Beauty. I need a copy of E-Pearly Noir, so if you want to throw one of those in the tins, that'd be very cool. Hopefully one of our packs has that. We do need a few other cards to finish out the Pearly deck, but I'll take what I can get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pack number 10. Ogdoadic Daybreak. Forgot about this. Definitely come in handy. Couple of aces. Another Kashtira Overlap. A Soul Gaia Booster. Signet Circuit. Very cool. Realm Eulogy. Greed Jar. Vanguard of the Underground Emperor. Soul of the Supreme King. Very nice Ultra. Ooh, Spirit of Yubel. I don't know if we need another copy of this, but good to have it while we do. Hey, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Very much needed this for an upcoming deck. Evil Tile Folis and Red Arrows. What is this? Target up to 2 face monsters in the extra monster zones. Banish them until the end phase. You can only activate 1 red arrows per turn. Is that a... That looks like the Sky Striker Engage alt art. I don't know if that was Ray or Rose that had that kind of style of armor, but still, that's really cool. I don't know how old that card is. What set did that come out in? I was going to say, that'd be nice when Lynx kind of went rampant and get rid of those U-Links. Just trying to think of what it was called. Jason says, play that next time the Seal of Orichalcos when you duel a stat. Jeez, can't speak today. And then steal his soul if you win. But if I steal his soul, I can't be a guest on the show then. would that put me out of a job? I've won, but at what cost? Would I qualify for unemployment if my boss's soul has been stolen in a duel? That's a good question. Ogdoatic Daybreak. The Couple of Aces. A Scapegoat. Wait, more goats? When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a monster, except a token, tribute one monster, special summon a Scapegoat token. Same stats as the regular Scapegoat. In defense position, if a non-token monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy one token in your monster zone instead. I want to put this in an adventurer deck. That's all I have to say about that. Very cool. In all seriousness, it does look really cool. Kind of an interesting card. Nice little protection. Would come in handy with adventurers. Just pop some of the non-adventurer stuff. So that way you can save your Griffin Rider, make your tokens, and then use those tokens for protection. Vertisil from the Flower Buds. Cashier Extra. Sorry of the Silverwing X. Greed Jar. Numeron Creation. Ursarctic Polar Star. Very cool. Another Centurion Trudea. A number 39 Utopia Double. That means we have double the Utopia Doubles. Centurion Bonds. Very cool. Definitely need that. And Infernal Knight Ricardetto. I think I needed a couple copies of Bonds. I know we also need Emblem of Oath, so very much appreciating these cards here. I think this is pack number 12. Jason says, Age of Overlord is when Red Arrows came out. Oh, it was more recent. That's what I figured, as I never opened Age of Overlords. I mostly just got some of the hollows. But I kind of wish Red Arrows was bigger when U-Links were running rampant. That's just me. Of course, Kaijus also fix that problem. Rebirth of the Seven Emperors. Jurassic Power. Xyz Align. Meteor Rush Monocroid. A Shattered Colorless Realm. That's really cool. Vicious Astrolaut is on the field. Target a card on the field. Destroyed. Then destroyed card original name was Vicious Astrolaut. Special summon one of your banished Vicious Starfrost. Or if not, make a Vicious Astrolaut you control, gain 1500 attack. Terrifying. Bakanko Spirit Walk. Moissanite, the Comet General. Numeron Creation. Startling Stare of the Snake Eyes. Oh, hey, there is Emblem of Oath. Very nice. Right Arm of the Forbidden One. We just need 2 more pieces now. Rescue Ace Fire Engine. Woohoo! And Storage Pod. Requires Trifortress Sops or Stego Cyber along with Machine or Dinosaur Monster. Very cool. Huh, we actually did get an Emblem of Oath. I actually willed that to existence. Very nice. I kind of want to save my other 2 Genie Wishes, but it would be very cool if I did get the other 2 Exodia pieces. Rebirth of the Seven Emperors. Brand of Befallen. Etude of the Branded. Sword Soul Punishment. That's just such a cool looking card. Sour Scheduling. Red Vinegar Vamoose. Click and Echo. Xyz and Trust. Very cool card art. Manicore of Smashing. Isn't this the one that grabs Fissure and Smashing? Yeah, it is. Very cool. Because you can see the fists and the card arts. Very nice. I like that. Huli, the Jewel Makanko. Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon. Very nice. Woo! Dark Magician Girl. Very nice. Rescue Ace HQ and Manadium Reframing. Very nice rarity bump there. 2 more cards and 2 more Exodia pieces. Let's see if we can clutch this one out. If not, we've already collected a good amount of loot here, so can't really complain. YuGiOh, the Gravity Ninja, Tellarknight, Constellar Caudicus, Xyz Align. I believe these are 2 cards that came from a Battles of Legends pack. I believe they're anime imports. Still cool. Behemoth, the King of 100 Battles, Signet Circuit, Gigantic Thundercross. Whoa, that's really cool. Chaos Phantasm, Million Century Ice Prison, Chaos Witch. Another wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, very handy. Ooh, Quarter Century Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Big fan of the Dino Wrestlers. Gem Knight Lady Rose Diamond. And Vala, Satyr of the Generator Bosses. It's a nice rarity bump. Definitely going to put that into the Generator deck for sure. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Final pack here. Beta Evolution Pill Ultra Ascendance. Scrap Iron Sacred Statue. Tar-Eye. Ice Jade Manifestation. Bio Insect Armor. Sour Scheduling. Red Vinegar Vamoose. Moissanite. Common General. Numeron Creation. Pearly Happy Memory. Ooh, Cashier Riseheart. Actually need a copy of this. Very handy. Number 15, Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder. Very cool. Evil Tile Folus. And Pit Knight Philly. Oh, cool. Another Pit Knight. As is tradition, it's a Link to Cybers. Very handy. Very nice. Woo! So we'll go over the Ultra Rares, the Prismatic Secrets, and the Quarter Centuries in that order. We'll also put all these stacks of mail we've gotten kind of off to the side here. All right, time to cover some Ultras. We got Pit Knight Philly, Evil Tile Folus. Really like the kind of just art design and detail in the background there. Pearly Happy Memory, Vala, Satyr of the Generator Bosses, Lady Rose Diamond, Chaos Witch, Manadium Reframing, nice rarity bump there. Rescue Ace HQ, same with the HQ. Huli, the Jewel Macaco. It's a level 3 Psychic, so emergency teleport target. Especially nice if you're using... It's the spell card that grabs equip spells. You can't normal summon or set that turn, but you can special summon pretty much a bunch of stuff. Can't remember what it's... I don't think it's Armory Call. It's something similar to that. Storage Pod. Rescue Ace Fire Engine. Startling Stare of the Snake Eyes. It's quite startling. Infernoble Knight Ricardetto. Centurion Bonds. Ursarctic Polar Star. Red Arrows. Evil Tile Folus. Soul of the Supreme King. Pearly Beauty. Full Armored Xyz. Merry Melfies. Kitty Tail Mystical Beast of the Forest. Earthbound Servant Geo Kraken. Gishki Grimness. Rescue Ace Monitor. Asset Mountus. Angelica's Angelic Ring. Rescue Ace Monitor. Pearly Plump. Lilirap. Kebasenuif, Protection of Horse. Golden Cloud Beast Malong. Triangles O. Scatterfusion. Pearly Happiness. Ultimate Great Insect. Diablantis, Menacing Mantis. Photon Emperor. Emperor Tanuki's Critter Count. Dynamorphian Tack. Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Infernoble Knight Turpin. Chimera the Illusion Beast. Dynamondo. And Galaxy 100. Woo! Very nice. Good packs. They are pretty good packs. You are very much right, Jason. We scored big time today. Cashier Riseheart. Warner's Secret of Sinful Spoils. Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. Emblema Oath. Centurion Trudea. Spirit of Yubel. Snake Eye Oak. Tearlament's Cashiera. Gravekeeper's Inscription. Stake Your Soul. Unchained Soul of Yama. Fire Recovery. Giant Champion Sargus. Elma Tohiro Shining Neos Wingman. And Manadium Riem Heart. Very cool. And then finally, the Quarter Centuries. Number 15, Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder. Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Dark Magician Girl. Right Arm of the Forbidden One. Number 39, Utopia Double. Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Scapegoat. The Seal of Orichalcos. Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend. Left Leg of the Forbidden One. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Green Gadget. Left Leg of the Forbidden One. Number F0, Utopic Draco Future. And right leg of the Forbidden One. Very nice. Woo! And of course, the giant stack of commons and rares, which we will put to use. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Man, what a mail day stream. Huge thanks to Super Meta Sales and Metabro Jake for sending in all the loot. Very much appreciative. Got a bunch of really nice packs of the Megatins, but also a bunch of really good mail for a slew of decks. So we'll be making some update posts on that once those decks are fully completed and ready to profile. Oh, so very much appreciative of all that. We got a ton of good stuff today, so very grateful for all the support and all the mail that was sent in. That'll do it for today's live stream. Stay tuned next weekend. Not sure we'll jump into, but we'll make an announcement post as we get a bit further to that. We'll start collecting a few more Megatins, as we will be doing a Megatin stream sometime down the road in the near future. So stay tuned for that. But